So I did more retention editing on YouTube. I did this experimentally for a video that came out just a little while ago. It was the flow video. And I did it because I wanted to see if I did retention editing, how much of an impact would that have on viewership on the videos. I've done this before in the past as a test, and this was a bit more of a thorough test with one video. I felt like the video itself, the long form content, was really good. So I thought, okay, let's do some retention editing on the shorts. And I think I posted 25 shorts. And of those 25 shorts that were posted, they all did relatively well. Not all of them, sorry. 10 of them did relatively well, getting a range of between 100 to 1,000 views per short. But that was actually pretty on track and on par with other shorts on the channel that were not retention edited. So I didn't actually notice much of a difference. And when I say retention edited, I basically mean I cut out all the dead space in each video, and it was a constant stream of thought from one word to the next. There was no pauses, no break. It was just all the way through. And initially when I set out to do this channel, I set out to do raw content, record once, edit very little, edit only when necessary. And so doing a hyper edit isn't really my style. And I didn't want to make content like that because it is, in a way, catering to an audience I don't really want to go after, which is people with very, very short attention spans. Most of the stuff I'm interested in usually requires some level of sitting with thought or an idea for a while. And if I am trying to attract an audience that has a short attention span, they're only going to be looking for those types of videos and not the other ones on the channel. But I did have this useful thought that came out of this, which was shorts are shorts and longs are longs. So in other words, there's two types of content on YouTube. Technically, we'll say three types of content. You have a long form video, which really has no limit to how long that video is. You have a mid-range video, which is somewhere I'm going to ballpark in between the 30-minute and 3-minute range. 30 to 3-minute range is a mid-range video. And then a short form is anywhere from 0 seconds to 3 minutes long. And I mean, while that's obvious, you have these three different types. You could have an 8-hour video, a 30-minute video, and a 3-minute video. What I mean by shorts are shorts and longs are longs is that when you create a video, like a long form content, if you create it with the intention of it being long and, you know, expecting a low retention rate because it is a long video, I think you actually end up creating with a better intent in mind and therefore making a better video. And when you create a short, you create it with the intention of it being short, to like deliver information as fast as possible, which is basically what usually makes short form content perform better. Is like the information in the short form content is designed to be delivered effectively, efficiently, and as fast as possible. And long form content, the information is designed to be delivered in a longer format. Same with mid. So it's kind of like just a kind of a weird statement to say shorts are shorts, longs are longs. It just, for some, I'm not even really good at articulating this. For some reason, it just really clicked in my brain. And it made me think about, when I do make a short, how do I communicate one idea in a short instead of trying to include 3 ideas in a short? Like, how do I go from instead of going from A to Z, how do I just define point A, explain point A, and deliver on point A. That's it. Instead of trying to do point A, point B, point C, point D in a short. It's like that is better suited for a mid-range or a long piece of content. So that was the most useful lesson I got out of that experiment. What I've learned the most from doing this channel, and especially with doing raw content on YouTube, is that editing is a really cool skill set you can have, and you can use it for a lot of different things. And it can be really useful at times. It is useful like as a tool, but it can also become like a crutch that you use to make content. And it's a very time consuming crutch. Like if your whole channel is like wrapped around, edited content, like that's kind of like the focus of your channel, it's kind of a different story. But what can happen is like you can record a video and you can record it with the intention of like editing all these clips together that like tell a story, and that's okay, that's fine, because it can be really useful for like storytelling in general. But in certain instances, especially when it comes to like having a raw gaming channel, I think in a way editing can actually work against you. At least in this channel, I found so often that every time I've edited a video, anytime I've especially edited for retention or have edited for artistic intent, most of that time I spent editing was wasted. And by wasted, I mean I like sunk a ton of time into the edit room, and then the output, like the performance of the video, was just trash. And I didn't really like that outcome. I didn't like how I would sink so much time into trying to make a video really good in the edit room, and then the output was just like the output was fine, but the result from the output was poor. And that result of however many views or likes did really make me feel like, okay, I put too much work into that thing. I put too much work to fail at that area of the channel. And so I stopped doing edits so much. I'm now actually like, I started with the intention on this channel to do raw content, and now the intention is becoming more compulsive rather than by choice. It's more like I just don't even want to edit anymore unless I absolutely have to. The only time I edit now is if it's like out of necessity. And by necessity, I mean like I have brain fog for a like extended minute, and then I will cut out that dead space of a minute to continue the conversation. That happens more on the long form content I do. Or if I'm a long form content and I'm recording, I go run to the bathroom, take a break for a bit, go make some tea or something like that. And so I'll cut out that dead space where I'm not on the desk, and I'll keep the recording running. That's pretty much now the only time I'm editing for now. And I found that so far that has been way more awesome to do, because there's so much less work to put a video out. And especially when like what I'm trying to build here is to like do more output and less spinning my wheels trying to make really high quality things. I think quality comes out from passion. So if you're really passionate about a certain project, you really love it, I think the quality is just a byproduct of that passion. Like this track I'm building in Apex Rush, this is a very long project. I'm kind of ballparking, I'd like to do 100 hours, give or take, building this track. And I've just kind of set that number as a loose number because I don't really know where it's going to go. But I'm really enjoying building it. Like the time I'm spending in the game, crafting the track, testing it, I'm enjoying every piece of that. And because of that, I feel like the track itself that I'm making is going to be high quality because I'm putting love and care into it. It's part of like a reflection of my personality on how I like to play the game. And that feels so much more rewarding than, like, let's say I built a track and I wasn't really interested in Apex Rush that much, but I was just building a track for content and trying to make it really high quality and trying to edit for retention and trying to make you excited to watch me play a track or excited to watch me build a track. That itself feels like the intention is for quality and therefore the quality sucks. When the intention is for doing it because you love it, the quality just comes through. So I'm starting to learn that a bit more about the videos I make. And I think this is one of the biggest lessons I've learned, having done like almost 170 videos now. This recording is probably a video 167. And the last video I published, if I am doing this in publishing order, is a 6.5 hour long video of me building a track in Apex Rush, which I don't expect will get many views, and I don't expect will get much watch time, but I'm not doing it for the watch time. It's a nice byproduct if people do watch, and it gets me closer to my goal of monetization, but I'm doing it because I just enjoy it. I enjoy the process of recording something that I'm enjoying. Like it's like how do I put it? I'm having fun and I'm recording myself having fun. And that itself to me is kind of a valuable thing to upload because I can look back on that just for myself. Excuse me, and remember that I was enjoying this process. Excuse me, I have the hiccups today. And even if no one else watches it, even if I don't even watch it, I think there's still value, like actually a lot of value in recording yourself doing something you like doing. And it kind of makes me come back to this idea of, you know, are you moving towards things in your life that you enjoy? Like, are you living the life that you want to live? Because life is very short. You know, like I was going for a walk in the park the other day and I saw it was a bouquet of flowers, and that someone had passed away, and it was like a memorial for them. And I looked at the age, and they were a teenager when they had passed away. And I thought, man, how unfair, you know. Like I'm in my 30s now, and I've got to live twice as long as that person. I get to, like, you know, experience life still, and they're gone, and they missed out on a whole bunch of stuff that I got to see. And it really made me incredibly grateful to be alive, and sad that they didn't get to see those things. It's a kind of a complex emotion. You know, we can become so ungrateful in our lives for a host of different reasons. Sometimes we're so focused on our own problems that we forget to take a step back and appreciate that which we already have and that which we have the capacity to do. As long as you're still alive, you still have time to change your life if you want to change it. But once the final door closes, there's no more choice in that matter. Your life has been lived. And life is still beautiful, even if you have a shorter time frame than others. It just, it made me kind of reflect on how quick it can all go by and how quick it's over. made me think, well, if I'm going to live life, uh, I might as well try to make it the best of it, and live it in a way where I can enjoy it as best I can, and continue to move towards the goals and the life I want to live. Even if I don't reach those goals, I would rather have reached for them, never have reached for them at all. And there's almost some sort of peace that can be found in pursuing the thing you want, even when you don't have it yet. You know, if you really want something badly, like really want it really badly, and it hasn't shown up in your life yet, and you've worked really hard at it and it still hasn't shown up, the moments where you're thinking about regret over it not being in your life yet are painful. But the moments where you're actively working on pursuing that thing happening in your life can actually be a source of pleasure, because you know that you are moving towards it in that moment versus sitting there and wishing you had it. There's more peace in the action of doing, in the action of moving towards that which you want. That moment of movement is very helpful for your mind. And the moments where we spend a lot of time in regret and reflection of, I wish I had this thing. I wish it was in my life already. I wish I didn't miss out on these years where I could have had this thing. Those moments really only create more negative emotion inside of us, create more ungratefulness inside of us, and can make us feel more stuck, because we feel like life can become hopeless, like we may never have that thing. And that isn't to say that reflection is bad. Reflection's good. It can also help you appreciate things. What I mean to say by bringing attention to this is that we can become a bit stuck in this loop of wishing things were better instead of working on making things better. And by working on making things better, even if our actions themselves don't immediately result in making something better, the action itself of moving towards making something better will often make you feel better. And so that's something I've been trying to remember lately, is continue moving forward, continue taking action towards the things you love, the things you want in your life. Because one, life is short. You know, it can be over tomorrow. And two, there is great joy and pleasure that can be found just in moving towards that thing you want. And so this channel, in a way, is just an expression of my own desire to, one, be a YouTuber, which is something I've always wanted to be, and two, be creative in all of the ways I want to be creative, whether that's, you know, drawing, making music, or building a video game world, or building a really cool visual video or photography, whatever it is that I find enjoyment in. And that's a range of things. By recording that, I feel like I bring all of these things together, and I have this mosaic of my life that I can be very proud of and enjoy and be happy that I made. And in that process, I have lived days, many days, where I have got to do something I have enjoyed. And I've continued to move to that goal of further enjoyment in the craft and work that you do. So I think if there's any reason to start a YouTube channel, it's not just for the desire of success, which can be a driver for you, but also for the desire of expressing yourself. There's just this deep feeling of reward of being able to express yourself even when no one is watching. Like if you've ever danced when no one is watching, you can feel good. You can feel great. You can feel very, you can feel a lot of joy from that. You know, you don't need to get paid to do it. You don't need to have someone watch you do it. You can just dance alone in your room and enjoy the moment of feeling the music and moving your body and expressing yourself. And yeah, this video, I guess, is just a note of gratitude to that lesson I'm learning. I don't want to say learned because I often still forget, and sometimes I am ungrateful for things in my life when I need to express gratitude. So learning is probably the operative word here. At any rate, I hope this gave you something to think about, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one.